In this chapter, we're going to look at how to use regular expressions to replace text. In other words, when we find mistyped IP addresses or misspelled words, how to use a regular expression to find it and to replace it. Unfortunately, we can't demonstrate any of these techniques with grep because grep does not allow you to do any replacement with the text or strings that it finds. It merely finds strings. So we're going to have to do all of our demonstrations in the programming languages themselves. So we're going to start off with Java, and the first thing we're going to do is a very simple spelling correction program that is going to look for I before E words. In other words, words that should be spelled IE unless the IE is preceded by a C, and then it's CEI. To show you what I'm talking about, let me bring up the data file that we're going to be working with. So we have deceive spelled incorrectly, belief spelled correctly, receive spelled incorrectly, and relief spelled correctly. So let's exit out and let's begin our Java program. We're going to call it replaceIE.java. And I'm going to start off by importing the files that I need, starting off the class, and creating a buffered reader object. So I'm just going to type through all that, and then I'll be back with you in just a second. Then we need a variable to store the text as we read it from the file. Then we're going to create a pattern object that's going to store the regular expression that we're going to use. And that's a very simple regular expression, especially after the last few lessons. Simply, we're looking for literal CIEs. Next, we create a matcher object to store the matches that we find. The next step is to loop through the file, reading each line, and then checking to see if the word has a CIE in it, in which case we're going to replace that with CEI. So I'll go ahead and type all that out. I'm going to print the original word that we find. And then in this next part, if we find a match, then we're going to fix it and then print out the result. We correct the spelling by using a method from the matcher object called replaceAll, which we provide with the correct spelling. That's the argument to the method. And then if we don't find a match, we simply print a blank line. Okay, let's save this program. Go back to the command line, and let's compile it. Hopefully we don't have any typos or any mistakes. Very good. And then let's run it. So you see it found deceive spelled incorrectly and fixed it. Found belief is fine. Found receive, spelled incorrectly and fixed it. And then relief was fine. So looking back over the program again, the only thing new that we've introduced is the replaceAll method as a means of changing what was currently existing in the string to what we want it to be, which is a word spelled CIE or with the CIE in it, changed to be CEI. So that wraps up this first lesson on string replacement with regular expressions. And now we're going to move on to a second example, this time using PHP.